Bros, friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Jensen's. I'm very excited. So excited. Got a new fragrance that's an old fragrance that's a new fragrance. And that's because it is Polo Red Extreme, brought back from the dead. That's right, a necromancer at Ralph Lauren has brought this one back. Straight up lich mode. Because this one right here, Polo Red Extreme, the OG, that has been discontinued for a minute. Very sad, very sad. Now, in case you're unaware, this one right here, Polo Red Extreme, the original, is considered by a lot of people to be one of the absolute best flankers in the entire Polo Red lineup. And I'm actually one of those people. Polo Red Extreme and Intense. Those two were my favorites. They're both dead. Ho, ho, ho. And in case you're unaware of how this original one smells, one of the more prominent notes here is coffee. Actually, I had a really bland no breakdown. It was like coffee, ebony wood, and then blood orange. But still yet, the way that it worked together smelled fantastic. And look at this. Would you look at it? The new Ralph Lauren Eau de Parfum Extreme. I bought my bottle from Macy's. I also actually bought a new Dolce & Gabbana for men. That's 335 bones. But that one has taken a while to get here. When it comes in, I'll check it out and share it with you guys. Yeah, this one right here, expensive. Really expensive, actually. But we're not talking that today, we're talking this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the presentation. That way we can get really nitty-gritty with how this new one smells. You have on the front the name of the fragrance, name of the house, size, and concentration. 4.2 ounce, 125 mil, concentration Eau de Parfum Extreme. Ooh, that means it's strong. And then also they got the X right there on the front to just let you know how serious they're taking this. It's very extreme. X Games, throwing it back to like Tony Hawk style. Not too much going on the sides of the box. On the top you have RL, Eau de Parfum Extreme. On the back you have your ingredient information, you have your barcode, and then on the bottom your batch code, 38Z9001. And here is the bottle done up in that new modern Polo style. It is see-through, a nice deep red, bit of a fingerprint magnet this one. On the front, you can see Polo X, Eau de Parfum Extreme. Got the RL up top, got a sticker on the bottom with your batch code. Let's go ahead and share some spray, shall we? Let's do it. Not too bad. Whew. Now this whole thing is kind of strange to me, but it's becoming a little more prevalent. What I mean by that is taking something that is discontinued, that maybe a lot of people in the fragrance community or just in general have good, fond memories of, and bringing back that fragrance's name. Candies did it, which is a fragrance from way back that a lot of people really enjoyed, and they came back out with a new Candies, new bottle style, in completely new fragrance. It actually really sucks. And after the fact, they changed the name to where it's Candies Legacy. So yeah, but when it was first launched, it was just Candies. So it was like, whoa, it's back, but it's not back. And then there's also this one, Perry Ellis Oud Black Vanilla Absolute. They brought this fragrance back, but again, not really, because this smells nothing like the original Perry Ellis Oud Black Vanilla Absolute. This actually smells like a cheap Comrock clone. And like I said, that Dolce & Gabbana, the one that I bought that I just showed you, that is also bringing back a fragrance from the dead, only charging a really jacked up price there. So it's become this thing here just recently where a lot of brands are bringing back names of fragrances that were discontinued and relaunching them. So don't be surprised if some of these other brands start bringing back fragrances from the dead, because it looks like that's a direction that they might be moving in. All that said, how does this one smell, the new Ralph Lauren Polo Red Extreme? And how does it compare to the OG? Is it similar? I hope so. So this new Polo Red Extreme, this one opens up icy, sugary, sweet. It is immediately familiar to the modern Polo Red styling. Even though it does not have these notes, it definitely has some citrus off the top. Because if you look at the note breakdown for this, it is enormously boring. So again, even though there are not officially fruits in this fragrance, there absolutely are fruits in here in real life. So you're gonna get citrus off the top. You're also gonna get kind of a cranberry vibe. And that's gonna tie it in with the other Polo Red fragrances. That whole cranberry tart sweetness that they have, yeah, you get that here too. Listen up, bros. The opening here, like 30 seconds. No exaggeration. I know that sounds like exaggeration, 30 seconds. You're like, no. Legitimately, you blast this on, you get hit with that fruit, with that tart sweetness, little sugary, icy, like I said, a nice ginger pop, very zingy. It's really attention grabbing when you first spray it on, but it is gone like that. And what remains after that is mainly that zingy ginger, that red ginger, I think is officially the note, or maybe it's just ginger. I might be getting that confused. Whatever, ginger. It is fresh, it's lively, it's definitely more energetic smelling off the top with that ginger than the original was. But yeah, in the opening, these do not smell alike at all. So maybe you were wondering, this might be really similar to that. No, it's not. Back to the original one, along with that ginger, you also get an unlisted aromatic kind of vibe that starts to come in. So we're talking geranium and lavender coming together, making just a classic kind of masculine backbone to the fragrance there in the opening in the mid. And it pushes this new one into that fresh, spicy, modern aromatic lane. Whereas this original version over here had more of a dark, sexy kind of feel to it with that coffee mixing together with citrus. The citrus had a little bit more of a syrupy kind of feel to it here in the original compared to the new version, which is just very bright and zingy for 30 seconds. When you look at the note breakdown of this new one, that whole 3 notes, it does look similar to another fragrance out there, which is Azzaro's The Most Wanted Parfum. Ginger Vanilla Woods is that one. This one is what? Ginger Vanilla Leather. So if you just look at the note breakdown here, you might think, oh, maybe it smells similar to that Azzaro. It does not. They are totally different. This is like an everyday kind of fragrance, a little bit more easygoing, like I said, fresh, aromatic, all that stuff. The Azzaro, that's gonna be more rich, deep, sweet, spicy, very, very different. As the new version heads into the mid, that kind of snap, that zing that the red ginger has off the top, it starts to fade. You still have like a little bite from the ginger, it's just not as prominent. And also the lavender kind of geranium aromatic aspect that this fragrance has through the mid, it starts to sweeten up a little bit. Like the longer it stays on your skin, it takes on a slight sugary feel. Not totally dissimilar from how it opens up with that sweetness when you first spray it on. And as it dries down further, you get this faint cedar type of note, like this faint woodiness that starts to come in underneath the leather that's here. And the leather that's in this fragrance is more like suede leather. So it's not really trying to have anything gritty, it's not trying to have anything dark or bold or anything like that. It's just trying to keep it fairly paint by numbers in the sense of being something that you just grab, spray, and go. And when you compare that to the original version has more depth to it. It has more richness to it, comes across a little bit more bold compared to the new version. Now, absolutely between the two, the new version is more versatile. Like this one right here is the type of scent you can wear pretty much whenever. This one is more fall, winter, leaning evening. And actually through the mid, the original version takes on almost like a chocolatey kind of feel to it. So whereas this one over here starts to lean more slightly sweet aromatics with woods and soft suede, this one over here is going chocolatey coffee. So yeah, again, nothing in common through the mid either. But the dry down. The dry down is where the magic happens, sometimes with some fragrances. This one here, the new one in the dry down, still maintains that kind of semi-sweet aromatic vibe, has vanilla that starts to come out. It's more like a vanilla tonka mix. It's not like a full-on syrupy, deep black vanilla or anything like that. You still have that soft, smooth suede leather, and then this kind of like fuzzy, modern woodiness, kind of like patchouli stripped of any earthiness, and then that cedar I talked about before. It's kind of how this one settles down. Clean, lightly sweet, lightly leathery, super versatile. That's what they're going for. It has no rough edges, but also maybe no real weight. It's that kind of fragrance where you smell it and you're like, oh, that's nice. I forgot how that smells. The original one into the dry down, smooth, warm, still has that chocolatey coffee kind of going on, also gets more woodiness that comes out as well. And it gets like this soft, ambery sweetness into the dry down. Now I've already touched on this a bit, but in terms of seasonality, these are actually decently different. The original one, as I mentioned before, fall, winter, more of an evening type of scent, whereas this new one, honestly, pretty much whenever you want. Daytime, nighttime, any season. I mean, maybe it has like a light lean towards spring and fall, more neutral weather, but you can pull this off during winter and pull it off during summer also. Now, in terms of performance, this new version, the longevity is pretty solid. Sticks around for a good amount of time. In terms of projection though, little more average for me, which is maybe not a surprise, but I know some people would see that, Eau de Parfum Extreme. It's got the X's all over the place, so you'd think, oh, that's gonna be beastly. But the projection is actually more just okay. It's good enough but it's not really a beast. And the original version here, actually, if you do a side-by-side, is slightly stronger for me than this new version. So some people are gonna be like, oh, that's bad, because this one, while it's not weak, is also not exactly extreme as far as performance goes. But on a side-by-side wearing, this one right here does project just a little less than the original for me. Now, technically, this one is newer, so if you're one of those people who will say, you know, let it mature and it's gonna get better, stronger, all that stuff, it's gonna turn into Daft Punk, harder, better, faster, stronger, then yeah, this would be at a disadvantage because this bottle is aged. But just as it sits right now, these two bottles, this one a little bit weaker than this one. So what does this all even mean? Well, if you're somebody who saw the name of this fragrance and you thought to yourself, bringing it back, I'm sorry, you're gonna be disappointed. This is not this. This is not even trying to be this. This one just took the name and then is doing its own thing. And it didn't even necessarily fully take the name, right? Because it's eau de parfum extreme, not just extreme. Technicalities, I guess. So yeah, you will be majorly disappointed if that's what you were hoping for. I am a little bit disappointed, even though looking at the note breakdown, I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be the same thing. Without the coffee there, you kind of know what the deal is, right? But I also almost feel like Ralph Lauren is not even fully sold on this fragrance because it didn't really get properly announced. It just kind of showed up. I actually started to get emails from some of you guys, shout out to you guys, you know who you are, who send me emails about finding this in stores, and they were like, what is this? Did they bring back Extreme? Like, I have seen nothing about this, and yet here it is. And I was also like, I have also not heard about this at all. And I was looking online, and it wasn't yet on Macy's website or anything like that, but then all of a sudden, boom, there it was. Basically just no announcement, caught everybody surprised. They just dropped it into stores. And I mean, sometimes like a shadow drop like that, I guess could work out well, but usually when a pretty well-known fragrance house does a shadow drop like that, it's not because they think it's gonna be the next Sauvage. Mont Blanc has done that before with some of their releases. Dunhill has done that before, where they basically just dump it into stores with like no real advertising, no real anything. They're just like, whatever, here. It's usually not a good thing. And to me, the original version of Polo Red Extreme is way far superior to this new version. The new one feels like just a typical modern release, right? It's safe. It's versatile, it's wearable, it's mildly sweet, it's lightly leathery, which you see lots of fragrances nowadays coming out with that, where they're like, ooh, I have a Saffiano leather note. And then you smell it and you're like, all right, kind of standard. So it has that going on, and ultimately, it's kind of forgettable. The opening blast to me is promising, but it is gone in 30 seconds. And what follows is just a very standard fragrance that's trying to appeal to absolutely everyone, and in doing so is memorable to almost no one. It is absolutely pleasant, it is absolutely wearable, don't get me wrong, but I think there are other fragrances out there that are much better if you're looking at like just everything that's available. And even within the Polo Red line, the stuff that's not discontinued, some of those are better than this too. I think if you're looking for just one Polo Red, probably the Parfum. That's the one that I would tell you to go check out first. Get this one if you're a Polo Red completionist, or if you find it for a good deal on discounters down the road and you like this scent profile and you want it as a daily driver. At full retail, you can spend your money on way better things. So that would be my recommendation. If you smell this in stores and you think to yourself, that's really nice, wait a little bit. It'll drop in price, pick it up at discounters, save yourself some money, and then daily wear it. But again, I think Polo Red wise, the Parfum is the one you want over this one. If you're gonna call it extreme, bring that one back. Bring that one back with better performance. Oh my God. That would have been amazing. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.